You could be losing hundreds of thousands of pounds or dollars without even realising it, costing you even as you watch this video. In the UK, half of investors weren't sure about the fees and charges their wealth manager was taking. Surveys in the US found that almost 4 in 10 investors think they don't pay any fees at all, or if they do, they don't even know how much they pay. Here's the truth. You are paying fees, and they are not insignificant. Nothing in this life is free. There are fees eating away at your money just as we speak, but the question is, by how much? I think you'd be surprised. Hi, my name's Matt. I've worked 15 years in finance, worked at 2 top hedge funds, and I have the Chartered Financial Analyst qualification. Each new tax year, you invest $20,000 into the stock market. Let's say on average, you earn about 8% a year. Over a 20-year period, without paying any fees whatsoever, you'd make almost $1 million. The typical fee for using an advisor and investing in actively managed funds is around 2%. That means over 20 years, it will cost you over £200,000. That's over $10,000 a year. Compare that with a DIY approach and invest in low-cost index funds at about 0.2%, and you can see just how much you'd save. ETFs are very popular, as well as mutual funds, but they have multiple layers of fees. Here's what you need to look for. Fund management fees. You need to look at a total expense ratio, or ongoing charges figure. These are costs paid to the fund manager to actually manage the investments in the fund and other expenses associated with running the funds, such as admin and legal fees. This percentage fee is charged on the total value of the assets you've invested each and every year. The bigger the percentage, the more it's costing you, as we've just seen. Transaction costs. Every time the fund you're invested in buys or sells something, there's a cost associated with it. You don't see these costs, but they're there, and they can add another percentage point on top of the stated OCF. In fact, some UK funds have been found that they're charging investors double what they advertise once these costs are included. Platform fees, otherwise known as account fees. 4 in 10 UK investors are unaware of the impact platform fees have on their investments. And even worse, 1 in 10 don't even realise they're paying platform fees. These fees are what your investment platform charges for you to hold an account. That is, just to have an account open and money sitting in it. It's a joke. Some of them charge as much as 0.45% on the total assets you have on the platform. So you definitely need to look around and check out what you're paying. Trading commissions. If you want to buy or sell ETFs or stocks, that will cost you per trade, meaning into and also out of the position. The more you trade in your account, which is called portfolio turnover, the more it costs. Now, there are zero commission brokers out there, such as Robinhood and Trading 212, which have become incredibly popular. There's also the bid-ask spread. This is the difference in price between buying an ETF or a stock and selling it. For very popular or liquid ETF and stocks, this spread is quite small, but it's definitely something to be aware of. Advisor fees, if you use one. Only 17% of investors knew that management costs associated with mutual funds and ETFs are separate from the fees that they pay to their financial advisors. In other words, over 80% of investors believe that the fees associated with the funds that they invest in are incorporated in their advisor fees. This is not the case. You're paying more than you think. The platform fees, fund fees, and transaction costs are often separate and buried in statements. If you're working with a financial advisor, you're typically paying between 0.75% to 1.5% annually on your total asset value. That's a lot of money over time. And for the love of God, if you're paying for advice, make sure you're actually receiving it. The Sunday Times reported a case of an investor who had paid about £10,000 a year since 2011 for ongoing financial advice he didn't receive. And he wasn't the only one. Madness. Okay, they're the different types of fees that you'll encounter. So you're much more aware now of what you're paying, and you are paying them. But now we want to minimise the fees. What's the best way of doing that? So number 1, question active fund manager performance. Now, active funds are those funds where the professionals try and beat the market. So they may invest in different stocks to the benchmark or in different proportions, but ultimately their goal is to try and beat the benchmark value. Are they giving you superior risk-adjusted returns? For example, are they giving you, say, 3 percentage points over and above the index that you could invest in? Assuming they're taking the same amount of risk as well. The chances are they're probably not. Studies show that most active fund managers underperform their benchmark after fees. So you're not even making market returns and you're paying over the odds for it, entry and exit fees. This is mainly for mutual funds. These can be eye-watering. In the US, FINRA caps these sale loads at about 8.5%. 8.5%. That is extortionate. I know there are some wealth managers in the UK that charge either a 5% exit or entry fee, but that's assets taken immediately from you from an entrance fee, or at the very end. You should not be paying entry or exit fees in addition to ongoing charges. Not in this day and age. Do not consider them if you are. Look for low-cost index funds charging less than 0.2%. Do not pay more than that for index funds, especially for the main market indices. You can see from this table, from data collected by FINRA, that the median amount of fees that you should be paying for an index fund is 0.2%. You can see here from the table that some charge as little as 0.05%. That will have a huge impact on your ending balance compared to funds charging, say, 1+% in fees. Okay, top tip. If you are invested in the SPDR S&P 500 index fund with ticker SPY, make a note, there's an almost identical fund by the same manager that charges even less. Ticker SPYM. Check it out. Use a low-cost platform. Compare platform fees. Unless you really love the aesthetics and the pretty buttons, switch platforms that charge you. Some charge 0.45% per year on the amount you have invested in the platform. So if you had £100,000 invested, that's £450 a year. Instead, opt for brokerages that charge a flat fee or no fees at all. Next, consider whether you need an advisor or not. If you're comfortable doing basic research, you could save 1 to 2% in advisor fees alone. If you do use one, make sure they're actually providing you with genuine value, not just collecting fees for a quick catch-up each year. And lastly, read the fine print. Check the fund's fact sheets and key investor information document, as KID for short, for the true all-in cost, including transaction fees. Total expense ratio should be clearly visible. Look up transaction costs in the fund as well. Platforms and brokerage fees should be upfront and clearly visible on their website. So, plan of action. Log into your investment and retirement accounts and check all the fees. Check out the fact sheet and the KID document. Consider low-cost index funds. Check any actively managed fund performance against these index funds. You have to take the risk into account as well. But are those funds really producing more than the index after fees? Question your IFA's value. Are you getting more than a 10-minute phone call each year? Are you getting real value for the money you're paying? If you took anything away from this video, please subscribe and help me grow the channel so I can keep providing tips and information on investing in the markets. I'll see you in the next video.